Hey guys, welcome to BP, the Bible Perspective. TV pundits and elites and other people, how disconnected are they from the everyday people? I'm going to explain that in a moment. But before we do, please like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a question or a comment, feel free to add it in the comment section. All comments are welcome. You know, as we are in this electoral presidential race, it is always amazing to see just how disconnected some people are to the rest. Meaning this, as I was watching the coverage of the Nevada caucus, and now that Bernie Sanders won handsomely, the TV pundits are now really salivating over it. Those who are for Bernie Sanders and those who are not. Here's the interesting thing. When I think about how they are trying to corral the people into the way that they want everybody to vote or support. Now you have some people who are avid Bernie Sanders supporters, those who are for Elizabeth Warren, mainly because she's a woman. And then you got now Michael Bloomberg, who is fast rising, raising up in his numbers. I personally think he might be the dark horse. But it's always interesting to see pundits, because you see news shows that will tell you favor in one way or the other. Now, the interesting thing about this is we've always had this disconnect. Go back to Barack Obama when he ran. And when Barack Obama ran for president, the elites didn't support him at first. They supported Hillary. And of course, on the Republican side, they were for Mitt Romney at the time, and then John McCain before him. But it wasn't the people themselves, okay? And I think sometimes we underestimate the judgment of the everyday people. Now, there were some people who at first didn't support Barack Obama because they didn't think a black president, a black man, can run and win. And that was I even kind of thought that. I thought it would eventually happen, but I thought it would be a couple of terms down the road. But here is why Barack Obama kind of won over the people. Because he began to speak to the people. He began to reach out through social media to the people. And this is something I believe Trump emulated in his run. That he bypassed the elites, he bypassed the system, and then he reached out directly to the people. So pundits need to take a cue. And I also think even candidates need to take a cue. When President Trump ran for president, to me it was a brilliant strategy. Came up with a brilliant slogan, Make America Great Again. And despite how you want to interpret that, it's a great slogan. And every great candidate, winning candidate, in my opinion, has one. The idea was, though, that what Trump did was, he didn't go through the elites, he didn't go through the machine, he didn't go through the gatekeepers, because they rejected him. Now keep that in mind. The same way they rejected Barack Obama, for example, the black elites didn't support him until the very, very, very end. Okay? Even Al Sharpton held his cards very close. It wasn't until he was absolutely sure that he was going to win and that he became the presidential nominee that he actually supported him. Now, why didn't they support Barack Obama at first? Because, in my opinion, my humble opinion, he didn't come through them. They didn't anoint him. Okay? And then when you go beyond that, okay, they had their machine person already picked out. Hillary was supposed to win. But again, as I said, he went through the people. And the people supported him. The people were the ones that eventually pressured their senators and congressmen and elected officials to support Barack Obama. Now, Trump did the same thing. Trump went around, bypassed the media, he bypassed the Republican machine, and he went directly to the people. And when he went to the people, they jumped on board. Brilliant strategy. I'm going to tell you, with a brilliant strategy. Not only that, but because what he was able to manipulate, and I mean that in a shrewd way, in a good way. I'm not saying that he was wrong for doing that. I thought it was a brilliant campaign. Because what he demonstrated, and this was the kind of essential essence of it, what he demonstrated was, hey, you don't have to have a whole lot of money. They gave him free money. I mean, the media gave him free publicity because they always talked about him. And Trump is good at messaging. He's good at branding. He's good at getting in front of the camera. Go back, way back, for example. I believe it was 2006 when Rosie O'Donnell attacked him, right? She went after him. And one of the things you saw even back then, you don't mess with Trump, because he came back at her and he was relentless, right? Here's the interesting thing. People remember that. People forget how Rosie O'Donnell was a bully. She would attack people. She was a bully. She would attack her guests. And even though her guests, when she had her talk show, she attacked her guests. They would come on her show. And if she didn't agree with their opinions, she would attack them. She would bully them. Well, she met her match with Donald Trump. Remember, she threw the first punch, and he came back at her. Here's my thing. I think people remember that. I think people never forgot. This man stood up to a bully, even though in some cases he's a bully himself. Now, when he ran for president, it's the same thing. He wouldn't be bullied. He wouldn't be, manipulated by the Republican machine or the media. In fact, he conquered both of them. And it is that quality people like. People like people to stand up and to be able to take down the machine, the man, okay? Even though Trump is the man himself. But here's my point. He connected to the people. And oftentimes people forget that. What are the people saying? And this is something that presidential candidates should be saying right now. What is the heartbeat of the people? What do the people want? And one of the things you find that people want is that they don't really care so much about the issues. They don't care about how ice glaciers in Antarctica are melting at, the temperature have risen 1 degree over the last 10,000 years. Who cares about that? What Donald Trump is good and what every other candidate before him was good at was making you feel good about voting for them. Where Hillary failed was that she did not motivate people to get up and stand in a line. Trump, just today, if you look at when he went to India, right? India filled 100,000 people, right? He makes people feel good. And that was the whole thing that you saw in his campaign, where, guess what? He was filling stadiums. And guess what? He is still filling stadiums. In my opinion, he's right now running a brilliant campaign. That every event that the Democrats have, he's having a campaign in the same city around the same time. Okay? And so, what is he doing? He's going straight to the people. Now, if the Democrats ever rise up, they will realize that the Republican numbers is not enough. But what is enough? If you can siphon enough, if you can do what he did to Hillary. And Hillary, in my opinion, made the mistake of not connecting to the people. Keep that in mind. Not connecting to the people. There were many votes that they didn't come out and vote. Had they came out and vote, she would have won. So the biggest thing is, how are the people? How are the pundits? And the pundits are showing their opinions and their views, trying to corral the people. We don't understand why you won't vote for Hillary. Or, not Hillary, but Elizabeth Warren. Why won't you support her? And they're arguing over principle instead of strategy. Here's my point. Connect to the people. That's my perspective. I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, but listen, Please like and share these videos and subscribe to BP The Bible Perspective. Okay, I'll see you next time.